Amazing. Well, distinguished speakers, first of all, I would like to thank you for being us. Thank you for being over with. Extremely grateful. I'm going to be precise, running late, but we're going to have some meaningful discussion and we're going to have some constructive discussion. So, the first question, and I would like to have your perspective, each one of you please. Keeping you the team of our international business forum. So the question is, what factors have made the East a hub for entrepreneurial growth and innovation in recent decades? So just look at the example of UAE, for example. Talking about the entire East, look at the UAE, for example, leading from the front. So it has attracted some 6,800 visitors across the globe in 2024, and they are aiming for bringing in another 9,800 visitors this year. That's huge. That's phenomenal. I mean, it's far, far higher number than any other country on this planet. So, what do you think? Please share your perspective. What are the reasons behind it? What are the 4 reasons where everything is shifting towards the East? Please, thank you.
Thank you, everybody, that you are here. I'm happy to be here also, of course. When I start, thank you. It's a very good question. I see in many places in the world that it is not so good. For sure, not so good as in Dubai. Let it be the first thing that Dubai is next to this magnet, really big magnet. And what is making this magnet so valuable? I think it's the cohesion. People, my first friend yesterday, I had it also in this meeting yesterday. I had meetings with people and we talked about how it is in the rest of the world. And in the rest of the world, it's actually more like, oh, who are you? And here we actually already think, okay, what can we add together to make it more beautiful? To be really, to change yourself. And if it starts there,
So what are those magnets?
Those
magnets, right?
Yes, exactly. So the beauty of this kinds of events also, it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be with people who are entrepreneurs, who really see the possibilities in society and connect with each other. And this is what I see 100%. And there are some others, like there's a good environment, and of course, very good governments.
Thank you.
I think especially for the creative industries, which is sort of my background, you can see that the area and region functions as an innovation engine, essentially. It is a real enabler of growth and where the creative industries can really thrive based on the fact that the regional governments embed creativity, creative technology, culture and design into their national strategies. That is really second to none if you think about it. And combined with the vision that the regional governments have in terms of the foresight, given the fact that they are enabling and embedding AI, digital platforms, smart creative infrastructure and ecosystems into their national strategies as well, the foundation is really powerful that we are offered here. And from a creative entrepreneurship, that is really the dream for every creative entrepreneur, to be able to then push the boundaries and drive things forward. And I think that is, especially in my industry, the attractive number one.
Thank you. So we have to take all the factors in mind. Of course, there are a lot of factors. No tax regimes. At the same time, if you look at the Western side, like why are people being pushed out of the West? They really want to settle down here. So what are the things that come to your mind where you feel like, for sure, there's attraction on the East Coast? And what about the Western side? Apart from taxation, what else comes to your mind where you feel like that's one of the reasons why people are kind of moving to the East, businesses, entrepreneurs?
Look, I can only speak from experience. I've been here over 20 years, and I first came because I experienced the Middle East in particular as an opportunity. You know, in the West, often, and I'm from Germany, so Germany is very sort of traditional and regimented sometimes. The sort of opportunities are there, and here, as I said, especially in the creative industries, the opportunities are boundless if you think about it, because here you will have an opportunity to generate new ideas, and with the sort of potential that that has to also create new revenue streams. Because of the experiences that we create with imagination, for example, we are often quite fortunate that we work with regional governments, corporate clients which are global, and they often bring in local SMEs and startups, right? And when you do that, you foster an amazing knowledge transfer and a growth that is mutual, because you inspire each other, you understand nuances that you would never understand otherwise, and you really are able to create something that is unique in terms of the imagination. And these experiences then attract opportunity and investment and really push the boundaries of what's possible. I haven't found that in the West as much. The East, and especially the Middle East, fosters that environment, and that's quite unique in life.
Wonderful, thank you. Thank you very much. I really like that perspective. Let's listen from our panelists.
Yes, I would like to, building on what you just mentioned about why Dubai is really some sort of launch pad for most of the countries. Coming from someone like me, who were born in the Philippines, and being a migrant worker myself for more than 35 years, and currently living in the United Kingdom, but I used to work in the Middle East for more than 12 years. Then I realized that why most people are establishing everything in Dubai. It's quite simple because the political and the economic are very, very stable. You have a very visionary, the governance, the vision is really fantastic. For the last 20, 35 years, you can see the evidence. But
Not just the vision, but the execution at the same time. Right?
Sorry?
Not just the vision, but the execution of the same vision, right?
Yes, dear. So basically what I'm trying to home in is, this is the only few countries in the world that caters 90% of their population as a migrant. You, me, everyone else here are actually migrants now. So when you talk about entrepreneurship, you're talking about yourself, because the greatest thing that we trade is our time. That's the reason why a lot of people, this country is making a lot of millionaires. But I think the most important point here, as the market shifts, because of a market and market factors, it always creates some sort of an opportunity and risk. Now, when it comes to, business forward, I think it's about really addressing, the most obvious, challenges, which is the social factor. That's why we have a program we are launching here next month. We call it Barako 500 Days. So basically, we're trying to prove the point that both profitability and social impact can scale together by protecting the investors' money, at the same time creating a lot of difference on the lives of those who are unable to afford. Because at the end of the day, you'll see in the news, it is not a structural problem because the country is providing everything for all the migrants. But it becomes the problem of the market itself. So that needs to be corrected. So these programs, the program that we're about to launch, this is about market correction. Because there's obviously a market imbalance in terms of providing the necessary, for example, in terms of food. We are about 700,000 Filipinos here. We are the third ranking population here in UAE. And 70% of our populations are actually earning below 3,500 dirhams a month. And remittance is not our duty. It becomes now our identity. And I'm sure everyone will agree that every one of us are sending money. But the point is, because of increasing cost of living, it pushes down, the health. Health becomes the last. So that is what we're trying to solve. We are providing, our business model is quite simple. We use food as a service model and community as a story. Because we believe that behind every plate, there is always a story. And we are not introducing another expense for low-income people, but we are just simply redirecting the money that they already spent to a better option, healthier, so you can protect the workforce, which is the most important thing when it comes to career.
Yeah, thank you very much. All right, so year to date, 2025, we are working with done with 2025. Some 605 billion US dollars have been poured into Eastern economies in terms of foreign direct investments. Keeping that in view, how is entrepreneurship in the East shape global economic strategies? So we would like to hear the German/me perspective of the wonderful thing, and then we're gonna hear from you. How does that what's your take on it? Like, what is it behind this whole thing? This is an amazing drive going on, and it's just getting better and better, and it's getting more and more with the passage of time. Thereby, you can see all the ratios, all the economic indicators, they are going up and up and up. So, what do you think? What's the reason behind it?
Does this work? Yep.
No, not you.
Is this on though? No problem, slight tech issues. So, look, I mean, there is the region is an innovation engine, right, if you think about it. And the creative industries, again, which is my background, so I can only talk to that, have a tendency to generate new ideas. They nurture local talent and they enable the creation of high-profile jobs, if you think about it. So, with that in mind, you look at the creative industries and how they shape that sort of beginning that was said at the sort of idea that was said at the beginning, where the regional governments embed creativity, productivity, and creative technologies into their national strategies, which means we're incredibly lucky if you think about it. At Imagination, for example, we, on a daily basis, experience what it means when you bring all the expertise and you pair it up with local insights, right? And it manages to create platforms that not only shape new ideas and bring new ideas to the table, but at the same time, they're an investment opportunity. Because of this new piece that you're creating, a multiplier effect takes shape. And that is almost a ripple effect, because these new experiences spill over into tourism, investment, retail, banking, real estate, right? And that ripple effect is extremely powerful. And it's not only local, it is a global enabler, because the work we do, we often bring in global partners. We work with corporate brands that are global but invest here. We work with local governments. And we are opening up doors that then enable investment and attract investment, so to speak. So I think that's a very powerful opportunity to close that.
Thank you very much. So, what are the kind of challenges, in your opinion, that entrepreneurs are facing while trying to settle down in the Eastern economies? If you can shed some light on that, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you for that question. Anyway, I'm not going to shout. I think my voice is so low. But anyway, my answer would be based on our actual experience. Because as the West, they build everything through their economic efficiency. But in East, we are building economic empathy. There's a huge difference. Because the population is composed of so many migrant workers. So the most challenging part for entrepreneur who actually starting here in Dubai, capital. Because in terms of regulation, the government is so supportive. We experienced that personally. In less than 6 to 7 months, we were able to establish everything, including the compliance. Very, very supportive. Now, capital. That's why our program is very simple. We're trying to merge, the capital, the technology, and social impact. Because we do believe, as a former chief executive of a biotech company, we brought the diabetes solution here last year. That solution actually reverses the condition of a diabetic patient in 6 months. But unfortunately, solution won't be effective unless it is accessible to the market. And then that's why I myself said diabetic. That's why most of our initiatives are trying to give an opportunity for the migrant workers to have a fighting chance. Because without the workforce, just like our CEO mentioned here a while ago, he said that SME should have an S, because S stands for startups, and Dubai is the best place to have it. And Mr. Ken mentioned about talent without opportunities is wasted. It's wasted. So what we're trying to do here, the workforce has so many talent. We just really need to open it up, break the barriers, and open the door of opportunities for them. We are actually starting with the Filipino migrant workers. We're scaling from 500 to 3,000 members in the next 3 years. And then we're hoping to produce our pre-ordered meal healthier with a better option in about 20 to 30,000 production each day. So we have already our first cloud kitchen. We'll multiply in the next coming years until we have a central kitchen. So this is a very simple economics. We are trying to find a solution to an existing long overdue problem. I myself have experienced it. So I believe, as an entrepreneur, it is better to really find a solution to an existing problem rather than to create a solution and find the problem. So that is where your sustainability will come. And that is where everything will follow, even the profitability.
For sure, wonderful. So capital is one problem, right? And would you like to share any of the challenges that you feel like entrepreneurs are facing in the Eastern economy? And if we can keep the answer more holistic in terms of the entire East rather than just focusing on Dubai and UAE. Yeah, let's do that one by time. No one wants to go first.
All right, that's a general answer now, but why? Can you just repeat the question so I'll make sure that I got it?
So we talked about capital as one of the challenges, right? What do you think one of the other challenges that entrepreneurs might be facing, but not specifically in UAE, right? Let's talk holistically about the Eastern economies. All right.
There are barriers, as the market shifts so rapidly. Technology, the advent of technology is amazing. The thing is, we need to make sure that the technology is put into evidence, in order to solve something. That's why for entrepreneur, they need to their business model has not to be based just on technology. They have to use that technology to scale their business goals rather than focus on that. Because if I have something today, the next day somebody else will build something better. That's why most people, some of the panelists this morning, they were concerned about, don't worry about AI, they won't replace human. Because obviously AI has been done by human. Yeah? But the point of the matter is, let's just reverse it. Those are tools in order to achieve our economic objectives, on the macro and micro level. So I believe, as a general rule, let's be more focused on the fundamentals. Because I think basic will always be good.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes. So, in my opinion, let's add something for where we're coming from and where we're going to, right? So I believe that long ago already, it started to be really important to kickstart UAE. And I believe we are in the same position again to kickstart, but in another way. So if you go back, then diversification was already there. And it started with diversification all the aid and all the help and all the building came actually from the other side of the sea, right, from India. And we had the colony which was a little bit different to the rest of the world, right? They were English, and the feeling was good to copy and paste, because the English are not crazy. But there are some things which you can really copy paste in a very good way. So what I really loved here, and how it really went really fast, is with the airplanes. So they got airplanes from Pakistan when the place was there, of course, when the airport was there, and then this started, and then not paying for the landing rights. This was very, very smart, because then it became a hub for currency, right? And then the West, actually everybody stopped here and went to Australia, went to Asia, Philippines, etc. And it became already slowly the most important place in the world to stop by, to stop and get your currency. I think 100%, those things were so important. And of course, then the port where all the goods came in by the ships, of course. Right now, we are in a position to see actually the next generations or people coming in. And also there's a possibility that we really build it in the right way to be an example for sustainability, for it to be the most healthy place, to be one of the most safest places. We know Germany, I'm from the Netherlands originally. We know Switzerland, what position they had already is in Europe, and they still have a very cramped, a very big position. And now UAE has the same position. It's very safe, but also for the money. But there is one but. And I believe, to go to the future, we have to see what we don't have to copy of the rest of the world. Because there are a lot of bad examples right now. I mean, and I don't have to mention names.
It's a very good point.
Very
It's not just the truth. We have to take care of the don'ts, right?
Exactly. We have to make the right decisions, and with good decisions, advise His Highness and all the advisors around His Highness here. Because this is really the most important. If we can do this, then we make it the right and the most sustainable city. And like I'm doing this with Servants, of course, this island is floating on. This will be a facility where people can come and organize together the other way of living where I dreamt of so long ago already. And I believe 100% if we had put our hands together and we work together in the right way, with not money first, but actually long-term relations first. Not actually, we have to add and we have to not exclude people, but to include people. And then say, okay, where do we want to go for the children of the children? Where do we want to go for the long-term relation? Because then we change something for the better, and then we will be an example here for the rest of the world. And we never have to follow anyone else anymore.
Thank you.
Well, I think one of the key differentiators or one of the key challenges that we face is usually to innovate quickly enough to stay relevant, right? Because this market and the Eastern market is extremely competitive based on the incredible platform that it offers any entrepreneurship. So in order to be able to stand out from the crowd, the only way that happens in creative entrepreneurship and the creative industries is by being authentic and to be absolutely true and have the storytelling that is at the heart of any experience rooted in local heritage. Because only then will you have an opportunity to really change how people think, feel and act. And that will then give you the differentiator that you need in order to stand out and create long-term longevity essentially, because you're credible. Only then, otherwise it's not based on a solid foundation.
No, thank you for being here. Thank you so very much. Yeah. This was beautiful. You have to be relevant, to stay relevant, and be authentic. So if you have to come up with one piece of advice, suggestion, based on your amazing experience in this region, what would that be for the new entrepreneurs? We have to be precise.
Yeah.
Mindful.
With that, last night I had a conversation with our group. Actually, I'm part of the Hong Kong International Family Offices. And then when I presented them the project, they said it's not scalable enough. I said, what is not scalable? you know what, you just mentioned a very, very good point. There must be some sort of storytelling. There must be some sort of a good motivation. I told them, it is a market there. This 70% commands about $2 billion annual spend. And why no one is actually servicing it? And then this market, if I will sell them 1 meal a day, that commands about 400 to 500 million exit in a very, very conservative way. I said, why no one is servicing? So that's why we started small. So we believe that the workforce, the migrant workers, they are the backbone of the economy. They feed the city, but they were the last of them. So that is what we're trying to resolve, giving them an opportunity to have a better option and scale alongside with the profitability. So, for those people who are interested to join us in our journey, we're thankful to ADAM Network, and I'm so grateful for my friend who invited me over here. DNB thank you so much for introducing me to Mr. Abbas and the chairman and everyone else. It's really our privilege, and I hope that we know that we're small, but we know sometimes you have to learn to walk before you run, because we know that we can create a lot of different.
Thank you, and thanks to Dean. Dean is just amazing.
I want
Thank you.
also to thank you, thank you, Dean. Very good, very great, beautiful. So what I also heard in the Netherlands, it's always first good and then fast, right? First good and then fast. The other thing, I started to have this company, Seventh Innovative Development in the Hub, 71. Which I think is very important, but we see the innovation and it goes along with the rest. The next thing is that we have, because what you were saying about small and big, we have the shared humanity center. And in this will be later in 7 on the islands, on the facility. So we get from everywhere in the world, we get the brilliant students. Only brilliant students for 10 weeks, right? To bring them actually on the master for ethical leadership. Next to this, they will brainstorm on global challenges. We can get the best products for the tomorrow, for the rest of the world. Because I believe 100%, we should not think about the money first. We should think about our future, long term. What one of the persons, the keynote, spoke this morning, right? With this beautiful, what we see out of space, what we see in our seas, we have to think ahead. Again, for the children of the children, and we can do it.
So true. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So, thank you very much.
Thank you all. Oh, wonderful. Thank you so very much for being with us. I hope everybody enjoyed this lovely conversation. Thank you. Extremely thankful for all of you. Thank you.